A list was placed on Florentino Perez's desk. 5 demands, non-negotiable. The man who wrote that list was Jose Mourinho. And Real Madrid had no choice but to read every single word. This is not a rumor. This is not a transfer story. This is a power negotiation between the most controversial manager in football history and the most powerful president in the sport. 5 conditions. And by the time you hear number 1, you will understand that Mourinho is not coming back to Real Madrid. Real Madrid is coming back to Mourinho. Let's start from number 5. The 5th condition is the simplest one on the list. But do not mistake simple for unimportant. Mourinho is asking for 2 years. Not a lifetime project. Not a blank check. Just 2 years. Enough. Time to walk into a complicated dressing room, establish rules, and show whether the second act has real football behind it. And if you know Mourinho's history at Real Madrid, you understand why 2 years matter so much. His strongest season came in his 2nd year, when Real Madrid won La Liga with 100 points and 121 goals. A team built on speed, aggression, and absolute clarity. Every player knew exactly what the coach wanted before the ball even arrived at their feet. Without 2 years, every draw becomes a referendum. Every press conference becomes a trial. Mourinho is not coming back to keep the seat warm. He is coming back only if Madrid commits to a real project, not a panic button dressed up as nostalgia. Condition 4. No media duties beyond football. This condition sounds small at first, but it might be the most honest thing Mourinho has ever put on paper. Reports say he does not want to return as Real Madrid's unofficial spokesman. He will attend mandatory press conferences. He will talk about players, tactics, injuries, and results. But anything outside football. He wants someone else standing in front of those microphones. His first Real Madrid spell was not just a coaching job. It became a war of words, refereeing controversies, institutional fights, dressing room leaks, tension with Barcelona. And slowly the manager became the club's shield. Every press conference became an event. Every pause became a headline. Mourinho knows that if he comes back and becomes the story every 3 days, the football project dies before it even breathes. He will carry the pressure of winning. He just refuses to carry every Real Madrid problem on his back again. Condition 3, his own staff, period. This is where Mourinho's demands stop sounding like normal coaching. Request and start touching one of Florentino Perez's most protected areas. Mourinho wants to arrive with his own people. That part is standard. Every serious manager wants your assistants who understand his sessions, his preparation, his discipline, and the way he controls a dressing room. He would reportedly accept Alvaro Arbeloa into the structure. And if Toni Kroos returned to the club in some capacity, Mourinho would welcome that too. The real issue is Antonio Pintus, the fitness coach who has become part of Real Madrid's identity. Inside the club, Florentino Perez and many others believe in the Pintus method deeply. They see it as one of the hidden reasons Madrid so often look physically stronger in the Champions League. Knockout stages, the famous conditioning cycles, the so-called Pintusian Valley, Modric celebrating the method publicly. But after Madrid suffered around 120 injuries across the last 2 seasons, even Florentino may understand why Mourinho wants changes. This condition is not just about loyalty to his people, it is about control of the environment from day 1. Condition 2, authority to overhaul the dressing room. Given Real Madrid's current state, this is Mourinho's most obvious demand. And we know exactly what it means. The clearest example came in El Clasico. When the coach substituted Vinicius, he reacted publicly. "Man ist Stift Deutschno, Howet, Mrokend," making his frustration visible as he walked toward the dressing room. That moment raised a brutal question. If removing one superstar becomes a political event, how much control does the coach actually have? Then came the Valverde and Camavinga controversy. 2 players fined half €1 million after a training ground altercation that left one with a head injury. It painted the picture of a dressing room where authority had become fragile. During his first spell, Mourinho dropped Iker Casillas, a club legend. Almost untouchable. He did it. Anyway, at Manchester United, he stripped Paul Pogba of the vice-captaincy without hesitation. That is the version of Mourinho that is returning. The one who believes discipline comes before reputation. And this creates the hardest question of all. Can Mourinho and Vinicius coexist? Maybe if Vinicius accepts that Mourinho's authority is absolute, But that is a massive if, especially when Madrid already have the Mbappe-Vini dynamic to resolve. The club may soon face the harshest version of this choice. Do they want Mourinho's control badly enough to risk confronting Vinicius? Or do they protect condition 1, total authority over everything? This is the demand that makes every other condition look small. Mourinho does not just want permission to run training sessions, choose tactics, and speak after matches. Reports say he wants full sporting authority, the power to decide who plays, who sits on the bench, who leaves the club, and who survives inside the project. And that is where Real Madrid becomes complicated. Madrid is not built like an English club where the manager controls the entire football operation. At the Bernabeu, power moves through Florentino. Perez the board. Recruitment planning, financial strategy, player contracts, agents, marketing value, and long-term political decisions. The coach is powerful, but rarely the only power in the room. Mourinho knows this better than anyone. During his first spell, he won a major internal battle when Jorge Valdano left the club, and that gave him more control than most Madrid managers ever receive. But this Madrid is different. Younger, more expensive, more brand heavy, more tied to long-term planning. So when Mourinho asks for total authority now, he is not just asking to manage Real Madrid. He is asking Madrid to move parts of its power structure out of his way. Florentino can give Mourinho a contract. He can provide a media spokesperson. He can even discuss staff changes. But total authority means handing Mourinho the keys to the entire building. Mourinho's return is not just a coaching story. It is a power test for Real Madrid. If Florentino says yes to all 5 conditions, everything changes. If he hesitates on even one, this comeback may die before it ever begins. The question is not whether Mourinho is good enough for Real Madrid. The question is whether Real Madrid is ready to give him what he is asking for. If you want to see what happens next, subscribe to Sidix Docs, because this story is only getting started.